Good afternoon and welcome to a wonderful, absolutely spectacular late summer day in Pickett, Wisconsin. The temperature is 71 degrees Fahrenheit, about 22 degrees Celsius. Just spectacular. However, there is a little hint of sadness in the air, even though this day is perfect. And if you listen closely, you can hear that, which is the sounds of crickets. Crickets usually don't start coming out and sounding off until the end of summer, which means summer is coming to a close very rapidly. And I still have a lot of engines I would like to run, and I'm just not sure how many I'm going to get in the time allotted. But we're going to keep going and running as many engines as we can until it's white and frozen out here. On the stand today, I've got a very, very rare, in my opinion, special engine, and this is a Northfield Ross Black Demon 61 engine. This is an item that was given to me in a box of mystery engines from a buddy, Adam, in Florida. And this engine, I've already done a couple of videos on it, telling the story that I know about it. Go back and watch those videos. I'll have links at the end of this video so you can go and get the full story. But this is going to be the first time I've ever run this engine. So I think it feels like it needs bearings. So it's probably going to get bearings at some point. But today it's going to get run. I haven't even taken the head off. I have taken the rear cover off because you'll understand why I had to do that if you watch the previous videos. It has a Perry carburetor on it, which I'm not really a fan of Perry carbs, but I've got it set up per my normal carb setup, and I've got it freed up. What I'm going to be running on it right now, at least, I've got an 11.8 APC prop, but I think I also brought an 11.6. Let's make sure that this is the 11.8. Yes, this is the 11.8, so I've also got an 11.6 because this engine apparently likes to really turn. And it's got the stock exhaust, which is very open. It's like a Semco exhaust. It's a free-flowing through there. Got a very open, so it should breathe really well. I've got an OS number 8 glow plug on here and some 5% fuel. So, I'm really excited about this run. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up and see how she sounds and how she runs. 1974 is when this engine was released. So this is a pretty old engine. Let's just give it a run. Okay, let's see how it takes a prime. Seems to take a prime pretty well. Was interesting. I'm not sure why it would do that. Perry carb is still a little bit sticky, even though I cleaned it out really well. to adjust this idle set screw, or the idle adjustment screw bit, because it's way too open. And it just it's got such a lot of throw, and it seems like it's really, they say I should probably just set it so it almost closes this. Alright, let's see. Did it sound rich or lean? Let's just lean that low speed just a hair. Let's see what happens now. It's loud. Sounds like an engine from the 70s. Adjust the direction or throw of my, wow, this is going to be a short run. I better change props because this is going to be a short run otherwise. I'm going to change the adjustment here so I'm not going back so far, and I don't know, this pericarb just doesn't, my throttle is bending because it just got so much throw in it there. So let me just make a few adjustments here, change the prop, and we'll run the rest of this tank out. Okay, so I've got an 11.6 on here now, and I kind of choked up on my throttle linkage here, so it's a little bit shorter. I was seeing a little bit of fuel leaking out here, so maybe these O-rings on this spray bar need to be replaced. They seemed fine, but whenever you see leakage, that's usually the best bet. Did I lose the plug? Oh, how about I try plugging the fuel line in? Interesting. Yeah, I didn't prime it, so I was priming it as I was turning it over there. Maybe this plug died. Or because maybe I messed with this mixture disc. I'm going to go right back to the center position. Maybe that's what the issue is there, is that I've got that set too lean now, and when I go to low speed it dies. Heck with that that throttle stop screw. I'm just going to basically turn it out so that the barrel closes, because either there's enough leakage somewhere. I got a shade glare here. But it's really, when I pull it all the way back, it's like not wanting to, either that or it's just because it's just too... Nice glare here. I don't know if this is just the length of this throttle arm on this pericarb that gives it so much throw. I think maybe that's what my issue is. I think I need to make another little adjustment here. Stand by. Okay. I did a couple of more mechanical adjustments here to give me a little bit better leverage. We don't have, we got a good half a tank left. We have time to play. That's interesting. Yeah, have I said it before? I don't care for pericarburetors. This is kind of why, because personally I've never had a whole heck of a lot of luck with them in any respect. So it's weird, I would pull this thing all the way back, and when I get it close to being at that idle speed, the barrel seems to tighten up, and then my throttle doesn't want to push it because the barrel just tightened up on it. So I was kind of more or less doing this, and then it gives and it lets go real quick, so it's hard to actually find an idle speed, but I'd get it to what it seemed like the lowest movement, and it would still be like 4,000 something, and then it would go way down and then just die off. Yeah, so I don't, unfortunately I did check to see if any Super Tiger or Weber 60 carburetor fits this, and it doesn't. I would actually have to make the portion that goes into the engine is just too narrow on those. This is a wider throat, and it's got a really deep. So unfortunately this carb is probably just what it is, and I don't care for them at all. So I'm not sure what to do other than just try and run it, and we say that we're not going to see an idle, a good reliable idle. Now when it was at low speed, it was transitioning well. See, it's stuck here again. So I don't know what the hell that's all about. I just don't care for these carbs, period. So let's just run this thing out and see how it... I don't know if those bearings sound bad or not. They're probably going to get replaced anyway, just because I want to open the engine up. So now the throttle arm on my sextant, Bill's sextant stand here has loosened up and needs addressing. So it's just like a comedy of errors with this throttle linkage today. Alright, so I think we're just going to call it a run, call it a run day there. I do still have fuel in here, but it's kind of one of those things where if I can't resolve the issue with this carb wanting to idle, it's kind of not as fun, because I don't know, maybe I'll fire it up again off camera and see what happens. But otherwise, I mean, this engine runs really well. I mean, what can you say aside from what I said in a previous video on another engine, is that the carb can make or break the engine. And in my opinion, peri-carbs are horrible. I've never had very good success with any of them. So the weakest link in this engine is by far the carb. And that's just the way it is. At least that's the way I'm perceiving it on this day with this run. But otherwise, this engine is a smoker, and it's really fun. It's a really neat engine to run. And to the best of my quick searching I did on YouTube, I've not seen any other Ross Black Demon 61 engine runs on YouTube. So who knows, you may be watching a first now.